What is up, Panhandle? Happy New Year. It is Friday night, 7:30. That means it is time for the Panhandle Fishing Report. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I am Mike Smith with Smitty Surf Fishing. My co-host is...
What's up, everybody? It's Demo from Finding Demo Surf Fishing Podcast. Welcome to Friday, New Year's Eve.
There you go.
2021 is done.
Yes, it is. And what a good 2021 it was.
It really was.
A lot of great things happening. Viewers are starting to go. If you guys haven't noticed, I know Brian put out a message earlier, but we are broadcasting from our new Facebook page as well. Panhandle Fishing Report. So we're over there. Comments, who we got?
You're actually running live right now from your page.
Nice. Oh, so it's not shared over.
No, it only went to Smitty's.
Okay. Oh, so it didn't go to the other one?
No, I only got it to that one. I can look at the others, but right now it's only showing after, Smitty Surf Fishing is live now.
Yeah.
We're having our normal technical difficulties.
As always.
Whatever, Cliff. I can always say, you can catch a
Demo
in a dry pond. Come on, man. I just got lucky tonight. Kaylin, Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, that was a nice pompano, though.
Thank you. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Got that on
Happy
the
New Year,
9
Billy.
Foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The new 9 foot.
I looked over, so I was baiting up the 12, and I looked over, and the 9 was slack, and I was like, huh. And I remember even saying, like, oh, great, here we go again with a catfish.
Right.
So I had a couple of reels onto it, and all of a sudden it was zzz. I was like, woo, woo. This is something good.
That's a little something different there.
You get my respect.
Nice.
You come out of the rod holder.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good fish.
So I take it in close. Caught it in close then? Or?
Yeah, less than 50 yards. Real short today. The surf out there, we were at Opal. Surf was probably running, when I first got there, I'd say 2 to 4 rogue on that one. Running between 3 to 5 seconds spread. Real tight. Heavy wind from the south. The flag was just dead paying south.
Yeah.
And current was running east.
Okay.
Pretty decent. Yeah. I mean, I figured it was going to be a red kind of day. I really did.
Yeah. After, was it yesterday? Yesterday it was blowing pretty good. Thursday, Wednesday, it was blowing really good. That's the day I had a charter Wednesday. We fished the sound side there. And just driving out to Pickens, it was nasty going out there.
And that charter, you caught some sexy fish.
Yeah, we did all right. It was a long trip, but we hooked in and we landed a nice shark from the bay, which was Mr. Blaine Roberts. What's happening, buddy?
Happy New Year to you. What up, buddy? Happy New Year. Kyle, Happy New Year to you.
But yeah, we landed a nice one. We lost 3 more. Where we're fishing, if and I don't mind sharing, on the backside of Pickens over there. There is an incredible shelf out there where you just start dropping off rapidly from about 10 foot, 10 and a half foot straight to 30. And it's an incline like this. So at first we thought it was a stingray, a large ray, because it just took off running. It bit like a stingray, had a little, just a quick bounce like that. And then I said, okay, I think we got something on, I think that was a number 4 rod. So we ran over to that one, kind of reeled the slack down out of it. And as soon as we applied the pressure to it, I mean, it just took off and smoked. And it was crazy. And then coming up that incline, we thought for sure it was a ray because it just wasn't moving. And you've been out there with me before, and, and trying to bring something up that incline there is, what's up, buddy? Old Chief's getting freaked out for the fireworks already.
Yeah, they're getting after it here in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but yeah, it was nice. It ended up being about a 6 foot sandbar. We'll go with. So it was nice. It was good for them. That was the biggest shark they ever caught, so they were happy. And of course, we hooked up, like I said, on 3 other ones. And as they were bringing them in, it was just a lot of fun. So
you got more than just the sandbar, though.
Out there? No, not that day. Not that day.
Oh, that was the other day in the bar.
Yeah, we hooked into 3 other ones that were big sharks as well. They just took off running. Conditions were right, blowing out of the south. Hey, Mark, what's up, buddy? Happy New Year to you. Hope you're enjoying your trip.
Happy New Year to you as well. Mark, loved your rig. I didn't know you had a camper. It looked good. Looks like you had a good time out there.
Yeah, it does. It's always good to get away, relax, recharge the batteries. Whether it's a night, weekend, whatever, just to kind of get out and have some fun with the family.
Absolutely.
It's always good.
Nothing wrong with an escape.
No.
All right. So let's see. You got what, 3? So you went out 3 times this week?
Twice this week. Okay. Was it twice? Yeah. And a decent whiting bite the first trip we had. Sorry, buddy. He's all on alert. Decent whiting bite and the first trip. And I like seeing what's that?
I can hear yours. So I hear him on your screen before I hear him through my window.
Yeah. The camper doesn't add much soundproofing out here. So but yeah, decent whiting bite. And I always like when clients send me the after photos. As I say, they sent me a big bowl of whiting ceviche that they did up for everybody. So that was good. Which is a great way if you don't catch a lot of fish, but you got to feed a lot of people to do a big batch of ceviche. I think turns out really good.
Ceviche is amazing. I love that. I mean, that one time that I made it and I was like, I'm hooked. I made it with whiting and pompano, I think. Yeah, I made it with pomp too, just at one time. But I think even if you take a real fish forward fish, maybe blue, I might try. Actually, you know what? I will try it with blue this year.
Really?
I will do a blue. Yeah, I'll do one.
Do it with bluefish.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not throwing a challenge out there because I know Jacob will call me on it.
I haven't seen him chime in yet. He must be busy tonight.
Probably busy partying it up, guy. I tried bluefish ceviche. I don't see it being that bad, but ceviche in itself, if you got a large amount of fish and you want to, I think it's a great way to preserve it for a couple extra days. That acid's going to take good care of it. It's only going to get better as you go. So
absolutely.
Ceviche is just that's such a well-rounded idea for fish, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and it's good with some chips and cold beer, and it's just nice. Mark says he's got 5 campers in his group. That's always a good time. It's even better when you can get a group of folks to go out and hang out. It's that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's like when you and I went east. It was fun because we didn't get to camp in the same spot, but it was still like, all right, cool. Next time we're around each other. But even if we were to take the rigs down to Pickens and just park them next to each other, I was like, all right, perfect, let's go. And you just
exactly. We speaking of that, we need to plan a trip out that way. Okay. Out east, go out there and.
Well, we do have. So we have Roy's tournament in March. I believe Mark. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you had one you shared. I know Chip had one he shared. I think there's 2 or 3 just in New Smyrna, Jacksonville, and I think further south. I think there's another one down there too.
New Smyrna, since you brought it up, that's a little known fact I saw today on the internet, so it's got to be true. It's like the shark bite capital of the U.S. Not that they have that many. Yeah. So, those stupid little ads that pop up on Facebook, like the 10 worst or whatever. So I clicked on it. It's like 10 worst beaches and all over the world. And they started not necessarily worse for conditions, although some of them were pretty bad. There was one over in England that was nothing but quicksand. And so they were like, you don't want to hang out there because it's dangerous. But New Smyrna they brought up as being like a shark bite capital of the U.S. I was like, wow. I don't know why. I mean, I don't see a lot of, well, I guess I do when you look at the shark forums and stuff. A lot of people fishing over that way. But yeah.
You done it. You done messed me up.
Oh, did you go look it up?
Is known as the unofficial shark bite capital of the world.
Oh, the world. Way to go, Florida man. Yes.
ABC7Chicago.com posted this story September 15th of 2021. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, mental note, when we go to New Smyrna, I'm not going in the water. Fine.
And no, Cliff, we're not doing a polar plunge in New Smyrna.
No, not there. I believe Cliff is going tomorrow to the Navarre one. I believe he was told he will
over
be,
at Juana's. Yeah, that should be a good time.
I believe he will be required to attend.
Nice. Oh, required to attend.
Yeah. Blaine headed out there Monday. Are you heading up to Fish Bites headquarters there, Perdido? Happy New Year,
nice.
Tennessee.
Happy New Tennessee.
Year.
Nice.
Hopefully your winter stays mild.
Yeah. Man, it's been great. What was it? Almost 80 degrees again today?
75.
Yeah.
Shorts and t-shirt, but it was
sticky.
Oh, man. Sticky for the last couple days. And today, that visibility just, well, we were out there and I got there and the visibility was already dropping. And then after I got set up, visibility dropped to 300 yards, maybe, if that.
Wow.
It was just a thick, ugly cloud of air. It was horrible. And then it passed and it was great. But you could taste the air today. And then driving home, the windows completely soaked. I couldn't do anything about it. We defrosted, do nothing. It was running wipers. Well, Blaine, have fun over there. Shoot me a text because you might need to pick up something for friends, and I'll Venmo you. Since you're going to be there already.
Since you're going to be there, huh? Nice. Good deal.
Yep. So we have not had winter. That is for sure.
No. It used to be winter up here was February, and that was it. It got really cold in February, and that was it. So
I said, what did I say? I said I was going to be sad. That is probably what I said because I'm slightly fluffy and I don't like to get wet.
So speaking of the new year, Gulf Breeze Bait and Tackle Pompano tournament kicks off tomorrow. If you haven't gone down there to register yet, make sure you get down there and register. I don't know if they're taking over the phone registrations just yet. No. And they actually added a whiting category this year. So that's going to be awesome. Especially through the winter, we're always targeting whiting when we're out there, as well as some big pompano. This time of year, that's when the big ones are going to be caught.
And we have seen some big ones. Tournament when we did the Goodbye Fall Pompano tournament, I had a 16. The winners, I believe, was 17 or 18. And they've been big. I know that Matt Baker, Beach Buzz, him and Braden caught one that they thought was a red just by the pull up there. And they've been real good size. Cliff caught a foot long today. He got a 12-incher.
Yeah,
they're really good looking. Yeah, they did, Cliff. You're right. It was a good call for them to add it to the list.
Yeah, they did.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So we don't have our captains and guides on this week. We will return with them next week.
Yep.
We'll have everybody on, but a few topics that have come up. Brian and I have been talking back and forth on some things. And some interesting topics, I'll say. One of which, and I don't know if we want to get into. Maybe let's do the drones first.
Yeah, let's go drone. Drone's a fun one.
Yeah. So is anybody out there? And I know not everybody on the Panhandle, but anybody out there use drones or fly a drone? If you shoot us a comment so we can talk. Brian's got one. The group I was fishing with on, what day was it? Tuesday, had a drone out there. They got some nice photos and everything. But it got me, one of the guys on the Shark Forum, that the land-based shark fishing Facebook group, posted a question. He was coming down here to Navarre to do some fishing, I think November through March. They're down here to shark fish and wanted a drone to run baits out.
Yeah. And
I see it done on the East Coast. I see it done down in Texas. I would love to have one to run out. So it got me thinking, because he made the post, and it's been, I'll say, rumored or folklore around here that it's all restricted due to the military airspace that we have, and we can't fly drones on beaches because it's geo-fenced in, and they'll lock in on you and shut you down, and there goes your $2,000 drone and a drink. But I couldn't find that anywhere where it actually said that without digging through FAA regulations and all that other stuff. So airspace for drones for
thanks,
a living.
Blaine. Where were you?
Blaine, where were you? There we go. We bring it up. Blaine's old man here.
Yep. Well,
nice.
We're good. We got answers to this question.
Heck yeah. So if you look at the maps, I had that now. If you look at the maps, all of Navarre Beach is restricted airspace from about half of the sound, halfway across the sound, to about a couple hundred yards off the beach. It's all restricted. My thought is, I'll bring it up. I'll share the map here. Add to stream. Here we go. Let me get rid of our stuff here. All right. So here we go. So as you can see, here's Navarre Beach, and it's all the Navarre Bridge coming across here. It's all red airspace. Up here is flyable. It's in a yellow zone. There are some rules, but it's flyable. The National Seashore, if you look at the restricted operations, it says Gulf Island National Seashore. So it's saying that it's all closed because of that. And they closed it down in 2014 and haven't allowed drones to fly ever since. If you look at the actual map, as we scroll through, it's the whole National Seashore. There's the Bob Sykes Bridge in Pensacola. We wrap around here to Fort Pickens. Then we have a little corridor right out here. And of course you got
NAS right there.
NAS right there. Right. And then we're locked out again all the way over here to the other side of Johnson Beach, which is, again, I think part of the National Seashore area.
Should be. Blaine, correct us if we're wrong, but I think you said that. Actually, that is all National Seashore right there. I remember that when I went to go fishing.
Is it state or is it national?
No, that fell into the national.
There's a difference. Yeah, so that's what's got me curious. If it's just the Gulf Island National Seashore area, and that's why it's all restricted out. So if we have any knowledgeable drone guys out there, chime in and let me know, because I would love to get a Gannett Pro and drop baits instead of the RC Fishing Surfer.
So the only thing I can think of is going back to mech days and watching the pilots do their flight planning when still active duty. I mean, I could see it possibly also being a fact of that zone is a direct route. Like, we'd have to pull up. Actually, I guess I could have pulled up the flight maps for the area. But, if we've been out there, we know the Blue Angels fly that route. I know the AC-130s, they fly that route. The Navarre Beach one at Marine Park, once you start moving a little bit more to the east, you've got the Spec Ops little play area there. So that's definitely a place you don't want to be flying around. But we've also got the guys that go through with the lighter than airs, and Randy, DJI, with no issues. Yep. And I've run into the same thing, Randy, with mine. I've got the DJI as well. And all I get is a slight warning on startup. Like, hey, you're in this airspace. Make sure you know what you're doing.
So that's a good call. So Randy is the guy I went out with the other day. I'm going to make it loud because my glass is empty. And, So Randy,
how much ice are you putting in there? What are you doing?
Just a little bit. They're big chunks. Normally it's all chipped up and everything. So Randy, if you're still on and you're watching, and proper 12 again this week. That's a good.
Good Irishman.
When I started this whole thing and the idea with Brian, I said, you know what? I should just get some drinks and we sit around and talk fishing and maybe cigars, and we talk about what it is we're doing. So I'll just pour a little in there and some ginger ale and call it good. But anyway, Randy, when you're out there and you started up your drone, I didn't pay attention to all that stuff and what you were doing. Did you get any warnings or notifications? And if you did, you can message me on the side as to not self-incriminate on the live stream, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I guess you already did.
So when you and I, it was the four of us. When
we went down to, down that area. Nope. No warnings or nothing.
Really? Okay. Wow. So when we went to Portofino, because I thought we were off the National Seashore, and I figured we were actually separate from the airspace, because I had looked at a flight map and I thought I was out of the circle.
Right.
I know that I got the warning of, hey, pay attention.
Right.
When I did it at Pickens, before I knew about the fly zone, I didn't fly the drone because I saw, hey, this is the zone. So I have seen people fly it, and normally when I see people flying around Pickens, I do give them a warning, like, hey, just a heads up, this is a no-fly zone. It's not worth you losing your drone. But my DJI didn't give me a hey, I'm going to shut you down warning. I have heard that does happen, but I've also flown. The times I have flown was normally on Sundays, so I haven't tried it during the week or anything like that.
So my son brought up a thing he was showing me. He was like, it's right here. DJI's got an app, I guess, as well, that you can look at, and it wasn't flagged in there, in his app. So then one of my other friends brought up the fact of download the app before B, the letter B, number 4, U, fly. Is an app that you can go in there and it tells you all the restrictions and everything. So I looked at that, and that's when I found out that it was all restricted. This is after I talked to someone else who will probably try to get on the show here soon, because it's an interesting topic that comes up a lot, especially when we're out there fishing, and like if you want to run a shark bait out, right, instead of kayaking, the Gannett Pro is a great tool, or I'll say any drone that can carry baits is a great tool to do that.
Because that's what the Pro is, a 5 kilo hold. Mm-hmm. And what was the range on the Pro though? I didn't get to that part when I was going through the specs.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up.
Okay, but I mean, still, the Fishing Surfer has a half a mile radius, point to point. The AquaCat has a full mile, or is it 3/4?
So the AquaCat does something a little differently if you have the telemetry pack on it. Where you can, it's only got it's okay, bud. You're staring at the door. It's only got a 1,000-meter range, remote control wise. But if you run it with the telemetry packet and everything, then you can get unlimited. You can just run it out there a mile if you wanted to, and be like, here you go. Oh yeah, you're talking $4,000 to get the thing in. You might as well buy a used boat for that price.
Yeah, there's no point in that. I mean, I get the idea. And granted, the ideas of these things are still in their infancy, in my opinion. I think that we're going to see more and more. The drone game in itself, because I looked at it before, because I had the worst idea of flying out my DJI, and the idea of losing a DJI out in the water, just watching $1,000 fall away, would just break my soul. So the waterproof ones really got my attention. Like the idea of oh, okay, cool. There was a surfing one that came out that splashed down in the water. They ran it a few times, splashes down. They were able to recover. It self-recovers actually after it hits the water. It'll get into a hover and then come up. But all the drones have come a long way in just the last couple of years. So we're going to see more. We're going to see better payloads. We're going to see all those ones like that. And for the fishing industry itself, but it's going to come at a premium. So, I mean, you can't get one without the other.
No. And I love my RC Fishing Surfer. It does great, but the conditions have to be right for it. And this is something I've discussed with Chuck, the guy that imports them. And something I think he needs to come down and see us operate, and how it operates, because carrying it out, if you have a strong current, east or west coming through here, it's not going to drag it, plus the weight to get it out. And if you got, what's that?
You need more thrust on that.
Yeah, but the issue is the motors are only designed for a 9.6 volt motor or battery, and the AquaCat, you're talking 24 volts, and it's a single motor, and you can go, huge to get it out there. So,
my thoughts. I'm still all about the jet propulsion, but that's I'm not going to be able to let that go.
That may be an opportunity. I just don't know if the jet, like sucking water into sand and everything else.
Chip brought that up, and I thought that was a very viable option when you're bringing it in. The last thing you want to do is get sand into the intake and have to deal with that. But anyway, I think the drones are going to be really going to be something. To put whole turkeys on the Fishing Surfer.
Hey, if I want to catch big fish, Tony, that's what I got to do.
Big fish.
It's bait, fish. You taught me bait variety. Isn't that what you say? You got to have bait variety out there. And if a whole turkey's going to get it, then that's what I'm going to do. That's funny. But hey, whatever
a lot of you guys
gets
missed out.
clients on fish.
That's true.
Yeah.
The funny thing too, thinking back when we first started talking, you and I were talking on the phone, like, well, I wonder how much we could carry. And you took it to the Holly by the Sea Pond.
Yeah.
All right, a little bit of weight, a little bit more weight, a little bit. Oh, it's sinking.
Yeah, when I ran it, and after Chuck saw that video, he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, don't ruin that thing, because I don't have any more to send you." Because that thing, with 6 pounds on it, but you're not going to send 6 pounds.
No. Well, not yet.
Well, yeah, and not so. If you haven't gotten into catching sharks and stuff like that from the shore, I can see why Dylan and Jack get so excited when they hook big ones like that, because it is just that tug, man. It is nothing like, and I try to tell folks, if you never, like, catching a shark from the shore is 1,000 times different than catching one in a boat. That is true. Mano a mano, one-on-one. I mean, you're fighting that 250 plus pound fish all the way to the shore. Mm-hmm. And like, he doesn't want to come to shore. In a boat, you can chase him around. You can run him down. You can, maneuver, float with him. Yep. But on the beach, that ain't happening. You're stuck.
Another fun one, though, is Bearded Brad and Gulf Coast Nation's recent video of Brad shark fishing.
Absolutely.
That there's raw power there. It is you versus that shark. And Dylan and Jack, I mean, they've got it down to a science. They know what they're doing. They're very comfortable in the seat. But man, yeah, I can only imagine, because the couple times that I've been out with you and you shark fish, I'm like, here you go, here's a rod, have fun, bye.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, that one when it was drag screaming and everything, and you were like, nope, here you go.
Yep.
Take him.
That was one of the new ones, so I thought it was great. Yeah. And I think it's really cool that you're offering that now. And I think that, and it's not, you're not doing what Gulf Coast Nation and Jackson, you're not going after the good monster hammers, the big sharks like that. You're going in the mid range, and you're fishing with appropriate gear for that range. You're not going out doing it the other way. So
right. And that's key too, is the right gear. Because first and foremost, you want to protect the shark, and make sure that they're safely released and swim away.
Smitty does runt rod stuff. That's a fair comparison, actually.
What? Come on now.
I hate to say it, but they've got the super rods for. I mean, they've got the big gear.
Yeah,
they've got some serious stuff.
Yeah, that's not my category. But
that was really,
who knows?
I loved going out there when they did that meet and greet, man. Just seeing all the equipment, how they run things, and it was like, that is big time gear. That is not your little. That is not the little rods and reels out there. That is serious dollars and serious equipment to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which,
right into the next topic. Perfect.
Yeah, right into the next topic. Shark IDs. So this one is. I don't mean to turn this one into a whole shark topic.
I think it needs to be said anyway, because in reality, sharks are one of those things where you can get a great. We saw it in Panhandle surf fishing. I mean, we were catching sharks, and all of a sudden, like, the people came out of the woodworks of, "You're doing it wrong. You're killing sharks. They're important to the environment." Like, whoa,
right?
Easy, tiger. Not what we're going with that. I mean, but we get it. But this is important to know about us, and we talked about this last week too, especially in the regards of a protected species versus a non-protected species. Can you beach it? No, you can't. You got to do the things right. And that was also something we talked about with FWC's class and how it doesn't. Anyway, I could do that for hours.
Yep.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So how do you know what kind of shark that you caught, right? Identifying sharks, if you haven't done it, is pretty tough, because you could look at them and go, well, they all look alike, between the Atlantic sharp nose, the smaller sharks that we bring in, the spinners, the black tips and stuff. If you didn't know what to look for, they all look the same. A shark's a shark to an extent. I know there's some people that are going to be like, oh no, you can tell the difference, but Atlantic sharp nose, black nose, you can tell right away. It's got that black tip on its nose. Bonnet head, you can tell, looks a little bit different. Shovel head, basically, is what I call them. Black tips and spinners look the same, except for the minor difference of the black tip on the anal fin, which is weird. A black tip doesn't have it, but a spinner does. And those are easy. I'm sure there's more to the identification, but those are quick. You know, when you bring one in, okay, that's a good shark I can bring in. Bullnose sharks. What's that?
Blaine just commented.
Blaine, what Blaine got?
His dad's on for Q&A if you want to go down that route.
Oh, awesome. Cool. I will
let's continue.
Let's finish this one and we'll circle back to the other one. But as you go down here, you know, the FWC side, they do have some good information on here, the gear requirements, obviously no chumming, what you're going to do if you're shore-based fishing, what's considered shore-based, the rods and stuff you're using. But if you get down here to smart handling and release, you know, a lot of things that they talk about to protect the shark. Location, talk about not fishing around swimmers. A lot of people would be out there regardless. They're like, I'm going to fish the beach. I'm down here on vacation. I'm going to catch a shark. And then what to do if you catch a shark. So that's stuff to get out there and do some fishing. Prohibited species, because there's another one up here, another tab. Where was it?
The important thing of this whole conversation too is, are you targeting sharks or are you not targeting sharks? Because that is a very fine line that you have to define.
Yeah. Just because you have a big chunk of cut bait out there on a large hook doesn't mean you're necessarily targeting sharks.
True.
You could be red fishing, black drum, bluefish, looking for anything. The shark would just be a byproduct at that time.
So just don't be that one that's, I'm not targeting sharks, but you really are. Don't.
But you're really doing it. Call it what it is. These are your prohibited species. These are the ones that all need to stay in the water at all times. Quick release. If you can't get the hook out, cut it and send it on its way.
A whale shark?
Yeah, whale shark. Yeah. Like, I don't know who goes out there searching for a whale shark.
Just cut the line.
Yeah. You're done there. But then what to look for and how to ID it. So there's a couple other, I gotta switch screens here. There's a couple other resources out there. And Brian, I don't know if you have any, if you've looked up for stuff that are actual shark IDs. Like, what do you, I know you don't target sharks, but what do you refer to?
Normally I go to fish rules. That's my primary. Because I know more than likely if I'm going to catch a shark with my fishing style, it's likely either going to be a bonnet, a sharp nose, or black tip, or a black nose. That's pretty much the primary four that I can think of that I would probably get my hands on just pompano rig fishing.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. This was a good one I found.
My PowerPoint.
Yeah, no, but this is a pretty good one from the University of Mississippi, Gulf Coast Research Laboratory. And as you go down through here, it's got some great identification features. Just hit on a couple because bonnet heads, we catch those down here. There's your hammerheads. I want to get into the tiger sharks. Are pretty easy. If you're going to catch one of those, you're definitely targeting them. But they're pretty easy to identify.
So
bull shark.
So
go ahead.
If you're going to play with, and this is fish rules right here,
sandbar.
It's not exactly the easiest thing. And I just put the word shark in.
Yeah.
It's going to have a quick shot. One thing I do like that fish rules really hit up more is this red and blue. I know that's going to be one of those moments where you're like, hell, how am I going to figure out if a shark is a shark, or is it a black tip, or am I pulling up a spinner, or what am I doing?
Right.
And that comes with experience. But on that same one, you shouldn't be picking up a lot of the prohibited species on if you're not targeting. You really shouldn't. You shouldn't get them. I think it would be a little rare that you would get them because they're a little bit further out than you would be casting, but that's just my opinion. And there, go from that.
Absolutely. So anyway, great little thing. I'll share this. I'll add this in the comments if anybody's interested. And then NOAA puts out, because NOAA does all the tracking and everything, but they have a great placard as well that does a yes/no chart as you go down here. But oh yeah, that's huge.
The only reason I know about that's from Wicked Tuna.
Yeah, right.
Love that show.
But yeah, shark ID. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes you don't know. So the best thing to do is treat them all as a prohibited and try to keep their gills in the water at all times. Quickly release them, and then get them right back out to the water, safely released.
And remember, if you get your feet around their pecs or anything like that, their body is sandpaper, and you'll get a very nice rubbing.
Yeah, got a nice scar down on my right ankle from that.
All right, so we got Blaine. He said his dad's on with the Q&A, so if there's any questions you got, now'd be the time. I don't know if he's going to try. He's probably on the phone with him. That would be my guess.
I'm going to stop sharing.
Nice taste, Brian. Thanks, Jack.
So Blaine, if your dad's on, I don't know if he can answer this, but I'm going to bring back up the Before You Fly app.
I kind of wish I had fireworks. People
we thought about it, but then I saw all the stuff coming in, the weather rolling in, so we kind of toned it down. So we're looking at the Navarre Beach area, and we'll kind of zoom out a little bit so we can kind of get a bigger picture, maybe. So these are all you're controlling. The circles, I'm guessing, are all you're controlling towers, basically. You got the field up in Milton, you got Pensacola over here, Herbert Field, Eglin, Destin is a small airport. So those are your areas of responsibility, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the topic in question keeps coming up about flying drones in Navarre Beach area, which is now red. And our thinking is because it's the National Seashore area that encompasses the whole island down here.
So while we're waiting for that answer, you want to play on the other topic too while we're waiting for him to come back?
Yeah, we can. Bait cannons. That's a good one.
All that is a glorified spud gun. I love me a good spud gun.
It is. There are a lot of, so that's your alternative, right? You're going to get if you want to get your bait out there, you're going to maybe possibly fly a drone out there, take your chances. That's up to you. It is a stiff fine if caught in the National Seashore area, and confiscation. Yeah. Gate it. Yeah. They will confiscate your drone and you won't get it back, and up to $100,000 fine for flying out there. So they don't mess around. You can get an RC boat. We talk Aquacats, but you're, for a good one and getting it shipped here and paying the fees to come from South Africa and everything else, you're almost $4,000 into it, if not more, for the total decked out one. RC Fishing Surfer, it's a great alternative. You are limited on conditions though. It's got to be just right for you to get the boat out there. So for us, a good north wind is great, getting it out there. But the other alternative is sorry, I get shiny things. Somebody else commented in. A spud gun or bait launcher will get you about 120, maybe 150 yards out. Problem I have though is the bait preparation. The guns themselves are cool, put 70 psi to 100 psi in a canister and launch them out, and that's awesome. But the freezing of your bait and your leaders and getting everything. Oh, you didn't like that one, huh? Freezing of your bait and the canisters and everything else is that's a lot of work. I just like cutting bait and sending it out.
See, for me, all I go back to is the jarhead mentality. I'm just using a mortar. That's all I'm doing. I'm firing a rocket and a mortar into a zone and hoping for the best. And there's been guys that definitely, I mean, we've seen some great catches. I know that there's a couple on the East Coast that swear by them pulling in monster fish. And it's like, you know what? That's great. But I have two different thoughts. First one is this. Is it legal? Yes, if it is pneumatic. You cannot use a firing type. It cannot be an explosive. It has to be pneumatic. So keep that in mind if you want to get into the bait cannon game.
Gotcha.
Second, all right, Blaine. For that,
sir. Yeah,
go ahead. Ask the Navarre question. No, he's got his dad on. Go ahead.
Okay. So our question, sir, if you're on and listening, is I'll add this back here to the stream. The question comes up a lot on, can we fly drones to drop bait off of Navarre Beach? This is a big shot of it. I'll scroll in a little tighter. We have a restricted airspace here that runs basically the whole Santa Rosa Island that, if I'm not mistaken, is owned by the Gulf Island National Seashore. So that makes us restricted, since you can't fly drones in the national park since 2014.
You're late, Jacob.
Jacob's just now joining. If it wasn't for the National Park Service, though, it looks like we're in a clear zone that would run all the way out to include the island. Just trying to get thoughts on it, and opinions.
And this is also before you fly. This isn't the FAA.
Right.
This is before you fly.
True.
Page.
This is like, you bring up, which is all linked to their FAA apps and stuff, because you can actually apply to fly your low altitude stuff right from the app here. It goes to the controlling tower. Tower will approve or disapprove, and you'll get it back in almost real time.
Yeah. So
I've been told. I'm not a drone guy. I don't know, but it comes up all the time on why can't we use drones out here? Obviously, it's the National Seashore is what I'm guessing, but yeah, I was just trying to get someone who knew.
And Jacob, haze yourself accordingly. I'm excited to see his answer on that. That should be a good one. I wonder if it's a phone call. I don't know if he's on the text one.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for an answer there. So backing up to the bait cannons, again, you can only use pneumatic. You cannot use a fire type. So be very careful if you're going to try to. He's really getting after it. That one's right by me. That one's probably my backyard neighbor again. The guy that my other Facebook person thought they deserve to be high-fived in the face with a chair. That was good. I like that one. So between pneumatic being the important piece there, it is a mortar. It's only going to fire out there. It's going to go out, and you're going to do that one. But in reality, I'm really torn on as to why. I mean, I get the idea of having the range. A couple of times somebody brought it up to me. It's like, hey, you got to remember disabled people. They can't cast, and this is a way for fish. Okay, I buy that. Absolutely. But as a get it out there nice and far tool, okay, I kind of see it, but I also I see room for a lot of other problems that come with it. What happens when you forget to open the spoon?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Ooh, I would be that jackass that would forget. I'd need a checklist to make sure all my mortar shots were good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that too. It's cannons are cool, but just one extra thing to weigh your cart down. Yeah, that's true, Jordan. But it's kind of like, if you don't want to haul a kayak out with you, to kayak a bait out, and we're really talking about sending baits probably to the first bar or second bar, or thereabouts. A means or an apparatus mechanism. What about a trebuchet?
I've thought about that. Called? Remember the water balloon slingshot?
Ooh,
that'd be fun.
We ought to try that. See how far we could launch one with a water balloon slingshot.
Oh no, not anything with that. I'll be there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's just trying to get Dad's in Facebook jail again. Nice. Well, Blaine, you just forward us and let us know what he said.
Yeah.
Jacob Williams says a kite. I've tried that several times. It's something about being on the boat and the constant movement that keeps the kite up and going, I can't get it to launch from the beach. It just won't. It won't take off. Because I had set up with downrigger clips, kite clips, and everything. I bought the whole shebang. Trying to get baits out there on a good day.
You even went balloon. I mean,
I started floating balloons out
before you went to the boat.
Yeah, that's an investment. You want to try all the inexpensive stuff first before you get to the big stuff.
And that's the other piece of this too is we're talking about from the surf. People can say, "Come on, you're an Air Force guy. You can't fly kite." It's physics, man.
No, I couldn't. It's yeah.
He said you can get a waiver, but he's not sure about the requirements. Right. Then waiver is definitely something that can be submitted to request for flight, which is impossible for almost all zones.
Yeah. And I wonder if it'd be different if you were a for hire business and FAA licensed drone pilot. That's the other piece of it, that recreationally you may not be able to do it, but if you are an FAA certified drone pilot, can you get the waiver and authorization? Because we've seen them, news crews or whatever, shoot them down the pier and do their photos and things like that. So there's got to be a way to do it.
Because I mean, all you're doing, you're asking for a waiver, but you're really just submitting a flight plan. I mean, as long as you submit a flight plan, more often than not, if it brings up a thing of like, "Hey, what are you doing?" then I could see maybe on that question mark. But I think that's what it really falls into their lap is, give me a flight plan, because they want, that whole thing cracked down once they opened the drone operation for the FAA side. They were sick and tired of mid-airs, near misses, all those pieces.
Yeah,
I get that. I mean, I buy it. Saw it plenty of times.
And if you're licensed and registered, they have, like you and I talked earlier, the government knows what you're doing. The government can come to you, and there's some accountability there.
Now you got that, but you also need license. You're also going to want to have liability insurance and all these pieces.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it gets down into the money game and all that fun stuff that we could talk for hours on. Jacob, potato gun. Yeah. Yes and no. Remember, you cannot use a fire start. It has to be pneumatic. It cannot be a fire. If it is fire, it is illegal and it is not authorized on the beach.
So by fire start it, what if you have a are you talking the like grill igniter? That would be illegal. But as long as I pumped it with air and had a release valve, I'm good.
Pneumatic and fire are the differences when it comes to the cannons and legality. And it was a big debate about it a while back, but it really just boiled down to the simplified way was, if you're using fire, it becomes a firearm, which is like, all right, kind of a weak line.
It can all be considered a firearm.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. It's like a pellet rifle, I mean, it's just, anyway.
Yeah, and it's a slippery slope of how they want to play in the game. But I mean, in the end of it, the bait cannon is a viable option. Absolutely, will never deny that. It does get your bait out further than you can cast it. I have heard a couple 100-yard shots, not just 150. I've heard longer shots, 200, 300.
Really?
Yeah, the 300 though, I think was somewhere. I think it was Australia. Because I was looking this up before you and I started getting into the boat game. I remember looking up cannons, thinking that was a possible viable option as something to utilize to get bait further out. Because I mean, we always talk about it. We want to get to the second bar, But here's the other, like I was saying earlier, you launch the bait out that far, that's a lot of line you have to recover.
Well, so, and I haven't brought it up. I didn't bring it up yet, but on the Bait Cannon Facebook group, they're launching plugs. Like big Halco poppers out there,
really,
to bring those back all through. So that that opens up a whole nother game, not just to throw a weight and bait out there, but to actually throw a big Halco popper and start bringing that back for bonita or whatever else that may be out there.
See, you could do that with the fishing surfer easy, because that's light. I mean, hell, you could put that in the top bay one if you wanted, so it wasn't dragging through the water and you didn't attract anything on the way out.
My screen didn't freeze. I don't know why I haven't thought of that.
I was like,
it's like, why not send out a huge, just fish the pier at that point? Yeah, you're right, Justin. But you don't have all the other people elbow to elbow with you fighting for the octagon.
Give me room. I'll give you
That is
room.
awesome. I don't know why I didn't think of sending it out there, or a big hoagie lure. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you could rip it back fast enough. I think you'd have to do like a popper. Anything with a weighted jig head on it, it's going to sink.
You're going to be dragging the bottom the whole way, and that's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I think a topwater, I mean, even if you could get a topwater out there that far, that would do really well. Because I remember joking with you saying, well, hell, let's just attach a what did I say, a spoon to the back of the fishing surfer, let it run, and just let it go. And then you're
see
like,
what happens.
I was like, well, that's true. Didn't even think about topwater. It makes sense.
I know. Asses to elbows. That's But yeah, maybe we should. That's going to have to be a springtime thing. I don't think we get much action in the winter.
Oh no, not that. Anything but that.
So we're gonna have to do that and document it and send it out.
I mean, the only bad part is poor Jack's gonna he's gonna have his hand on the trigger for a while driving that bad Johnny out, because it's probably a great idea to just go to max range there, because you got to get the most bang for your buck.
Yeah, if I'm gonna send it out, I'm gonna send it, and we'll just go the whole 500 yards out or whatever and let it go.
So we got the bait cannons, we got shark ID.
Jack, why?
Why? Because you are the assistant manager. Oh wait, I mean, you're the assistant to the manager, and you love driving the boat, dude. Come on, you're so good at it. Seriously, you rock. You have rocked that boat. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I tell him when he doesn't go with me on the charters. And Jack's my son, by the way. And if he doesn't go with me on the charters, then I got to drive the boat out. And I always look at the clients and go, my son's much better at this. He does it. He gets them out there. He's the guy that drives the boat.
Oh man, and it's always fun watching Jack drive, because he's just he really pays attention. He really does.
Mm-hmm.
I the couple times I've seen it, I've never given him the credit, and I know you do. I laugh because I'm like, damn, this kid, he knows what he's doing. He follows it out. He's checking the waves, and he does it well. So you got a great guy. Your kid's awesome, man.
Yeah, really. Thanks, I appreciate that.
All right, so now we got the bait cannons. We got all the intro topics. Offshore. Yeah. So if anyone that came up today was brought to me while we were talking. I believe it was Justin, or it might have been one of the other guys. I apologize. Talking about someone was upset about the surf, the wave conditions. The report that they got was one thing, and then what they got there. If you're going to go offshore, always take a look before you go out.
Yeah.
If you're going on a charter, obviously the boat captains are going to make their choices and let you know what it is from there. But hey, 2 to 3 feet here, it could very easily be 5 and 6 out there. So always take a look at those and make your own decision. I always say that. I'm not the charter captain, so I've got no room to say anything else other than that. Just keep in mind, big waves inshore, big waves out. But offshore, did see some cool catches. I was following Swoop on their Facebook page. Had a couple of monster days with some great groupers, lots of mingos. And I think it was a white grouper or something. I couldn't remember. There was something a little rarer in there. Destiny got some good stuff. Pensacola reported a couple of really good ones. So the offshore bite has still been very good. If you want to go out on the party boats or the charters, get with those local captains. They're going to be good there. The inshore, I only saw a couple things, but not a lot. You?
No, not much inshore this week. It's the same things. Get up in the rivers, deep canals right now for the specks and the reds. I did see. Oh, that was one of the sites I follow up in Virginia. But they were bringing up big flounder up there, like 5-pound flounder off the wrecks out there. Yeah, huge flounder. And normally that's a June, July fishery for up there. But they were bringing in some nice ones.
I wouldn't be sad about that.
No, not at all. And off the wrecks. So I mean that's even better. So
surf has been lots of catfish. I have seen red drum being caught. Pompano are still the locals mostly. I think, like I said before, I think the run's not going to happen. So just plan on that. It is the winter. The temperature is changing. It was a little chilly today. It's still not cold enough to where I'd expect for December and January.
No,
it is what it is.
But January last year, we weighed in Pompano right away for the Gulf Breeze tournament. So they're gonna be there, and it was warm. It was in the 70s.
Was it? Well, the water was a little chilly.
But Carl, our buddy Carl, caught a. You got your limit or one shy of a limit January 2nd.
Monster. Yeah, but he caught that fatty 3 pound. 3 pounder.
Yeah, he was on the board for a while.
A lot of black drum posted in Bama. Yep, lots of them. Justin said it was a limit. Okay. Yeah, lots of big uglies. Tons of big uglies are getting caught in the surf. I haven't seen a slot one yet. I have seen nothing but monsters, but still always cool to see them. And I mean, they're super breeders. I'm of the mind if they're that big, let them go. They're going to continue the species. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a slot black drum come out of this area. Oh, I take that back. Cliff, I think, caught one.
Cliff has caught numerous, and he said it has happened, and it is possible to happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that could be pretty good. I mean, I would hoist that trophy with pride, sir.
There you go. Absolutely.
You gonna do the scroll?
Yeah, we can go. Well, I kind of hit all of mine.
I got it if you want.
You got some? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, shoot it over. I got it. Blaine, don't give him ideas. Do not give him ideas. Nothing good will come from this topic, which means you and I will end up going out and having to catch a bunch of catfish.
Fish fry.
Actually, I don't mind. I've been catching catfish like it's been cool lately. Seems to be one of those fun things as of late. All right, let's get these up here.
While Brian pulls up the screen again, I know a lot of you guys have been on with us the whole time now, but if you haven't gone over to Panhandle Fishing Report page, go ahead and give a like to join that group. That's where we'll be broadcasting out of, starting probably 2 more episodes. We'll give it 2 more weeks to get everybody in and on there, and then we'll start bringing it out.
I am ready for you, sir, whenever you want to open.
You got it.
Yep.
Add into stream. There we go.
Alrighty. So with the good old Panhandle surf fishing, I always love the good stream here. So running through, David, got to fish with him today. Came down from Indiana. David's also got he actually has his own honey farm up there.
Losers. Mr. Salty McQuarrie has graced us with his presence. Happy New Year to you, buddy.
Him and I both caught pompano today, so it was pretty good. We got to bring home some keeper pomps.
Nice.
Look at the size of that.
Is that a whiting?
That is a whiting.
Nice.
Favorite 3 catches of 2021. Ooh, I kind of like this idea. Posting up in the group here. All right.
What's the topic?
Oh, this is the one he won with. This is the one Brandon won the tournament with this one.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon had
out
good
there. Perdido Blaine's tournament.
Yep.
There. Lost Key. Yeah.
That was a good one. Look at that black drum and that red.
Nice.
I recognize the old Skanska Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3. Jack. Pomp. Okay.
So did this just start?
This must have started while we've been talking.
Yeah. I like it.
Well done, Justin.
Top
good job.
3. Nice.
All right, top 3. I remember seeing this one. I thought that this was a smart. I like that he posted this. That he was like, "Hey, I just got this. What are your guys' thoughts?" And all the commented. I thought it was a good setup.
Yeah, the squadron. I ran 2 of those 2 12-footers on for charters. I've swapped those out late in the year, but I still got them. They're great rods. They're beefy. They can handle anything. And the reel he picked for it, what did he have, a 4500 on there? If I remember right.
So
yeah, that's perfect. You know, that's an awesome setup.
Yep. And again, you don't. I've got an episode coming up on the podcast. I talked with Simon from Emerald Coast Bait and Tackle. We talked a bit about price points and stuff like that, and he made some great points about price. That my safety brief.
I need to hit him up.
Yeah, he's got some. So here's Justin's post with his awesome, ridiculous stars of happiness. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that black drum, big ugly. Oh, that was the day we went up to that was the tournament.
Tournament day. Yeah.
My crazy ass. Yep. Fish comes in stock here, and Cheyenne. Actually, Cheyenne's going to be on the podcast soon too. I got some fun stuff about that. She's got a great point right here.
Yeah, there you go. Washed away. Out with the old, in with the new.
We could definitely do a full episode on this. I am a fan, but if you guys follow this, you've seen that I've talked about that before. Salting baits. Frisky loved this collar setup.
Oh yeah, that blue.
I got it with thin blue line, but it was nice. The colors, I mean, Frisky always does great stuff with those Ninja daggers when he changes them up. Really, really clean.
Yeah, he does.
All these reds, Cheyenne with a red. He had that red. So reds have been a big one. And then Mike, he traveled all the way down and caught the local friend lately. Poor guy.
I had a charter once, guys from Kentucky, and we couldn't get out of the catfish. Like, it was back to back to back, and them guys just started laughing. I'm like, "What's so funny?" And they're like, "We could have stayed at home and done this." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. So I almost deleted this post just because I know he's not here and I know it wasn't, but on the same one, I kind of get it. You know, it goes to show for us. You know, a lot of us, we all go travel, but if you can get out and fish, it's still nice to be able to get your hands on some rainbow trout, but it's nice to get out there. Salty in the goldfish, redfish. We're going to finish up here shortly. Kayaks, Blaine has got a lot of really good stuff on his videos about kayaks lately, and he also had some really good stuff from iCast. So if you're in the game for kayaks right now, not a bad person to talk to and look at his videos for that.
Sorry, where was that at? I missed it because I looked at Rob's message here. Yeah.
This was Key Sailing.
Gotcha.
I've never been there.
Okay.
I know it's over by Jeff, but I was just saying when it came to kayaks, Blaine, I know, has a lot of good information when it came to that.
Yeah.
This one. Okay. I'm glad this kind of popped up. This is not a dumb question, and I'm really glad that no one did something stupid for me to go through and start crushing people. Because I do that from time to time if you get lippy in the group. But this is a viable question. Do I need to cast out past the sandbar to get the pompano, anything else like that? 150 yards. You don't have to. And that's one of the big misconceptions I think that really pops up a lot is you don't have to go to the back of the bar.
No.
Nick's made a great point here. I mean, real close to shore, and he stacked them. He stacked them deep.
Is that around here?
Yeah. Where was he on that one?
Was that yesterday?
No.
Hey, buddy.
Where was he for that? I remember this post from a while back. But
he was on them.
Today's fish I caught, that pompano was maybe 50 yards from the shore. I used my 9-foot dagger on a rig I got from Shannon Blanchard, who's going to start doing some rigs.
Nice.
Trying it out for him, and it just, it worked out. But you don't always have to get out there. And finally, we're getting to see more fun stuff from Gulf Coast Nation. They're going to be posting up a lot more.
Yeah, we spoke with Dylan. He's going to be on the show with us. They were back up and running there, so after taking a little break, let him have some time off, and now he said he's ready to get back, and he's going to join us one night. So that'll be a good shark fishing episode.
And this is what I love to see right here. We did it. We're almost to 13,000. We got about 39 more, and we're actually at 13,000. But the push up did that. So good news.
Nice.
The group is growing. We are growing, and it's been fun. So we hope you guys get to go through the LT25.
So that's me. So he said he was looking at a GNU, and GNU makes a great shallow water edition. It's called the LT25, and it's I think it's got like rated for a 25 or a 40 on the back. That's the max on the GNU, but it's a little bit wider. Okay. It's like a center console edition with the polling platform on the back and everything. The thing is tricked out, man. It is a great shallow water boat if that's what you're looking for. I mean, I've been looking at them for a while. I just never in my next boat it's going to be bigger.
I'm just now getting to the comments.
Oh, are you?
How many times you living on goldfish in the Walmart fishing section? Dude, do they still have the fish? I've never seen the fish in the Walmart anymore. Are they gone?
Ours are gone here. They got rid of the fish section.
It used to be one of my favorite things as a kid. That and putting the beta fish in front of each other because, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
Rob, thank you so much. And I do owe you a text message for that one. So Rogue Rails, you will get some info from that. Bull Minnell's the bait shop. James got to let me know. Okay, I see what you're saying there. The LT25. Now I see where you're at there.
Yeah. So Salty brought up, let's do a ladder fish in the spring. Great you bring that up because the guy we're going to have on here next week talking about our surf fishing report actually does ladder fishing. So if you guys haven't heard of that or seen that, you want to take it, check us out next week. We'll have Blake Hunter from the Real 30A, giving us our surf report. So they've been getting on some fish this week. I've seen reports he's been putting out some redfish, pompano here or there. So between that and his rental customers, they're doing pretty good.
Yep, and he's got the reels or the rods out, and he's got a lot of good stuff coming up. And he's a hell of an angler. He really is.
Yeah.
All right, we're at 1 hour and 5. We went a little over. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. I mean,
what else are you gonna do? I mean,
exactly.
I'm going to bed.
If you're watching us, then this is the highlight of your evening right here. And after this, it's time to go to bed.
It's all
going to fishing it naked.
Gonna fish it. I mean, I'd buy that.
What's that? Which one?
Blaine fishing in his canoe naked.
Oh, I don't want to see
owe Blaine
that.
a big thank you. Blaine set me up on my kayak after I took it out for the first time. He took me out and helped me set my kayak up for success to go fishing. So I'm thankful. We had a good day. He got onto something big, and it took him for a walk.
It's a great community we have of surf anglers, and not only surfing, I'll say anglers in general, around the Panhandle. Things have been so great. Like you said in your live stream on the on everything, think of the children. What it is, Jack. Nobody wants to see that in the video. You're right.
Hey, it's his new OnlyFans thing, man. It's okay.
But positivity, everybody's supporting each other. The fish IDs and all that stuff you touched on. Couldn't have gotten to 13,000 folks without the positivity of that group. So that is one awesome group. Panhandle Surf Fishing Group.
That's a good one. So.
Yeah,
I appreciate everybody. I mean, it's been 2021 has been 2X shirts. When are you getting them in stock? Yeah, Mike, when are you getting them in stock?
Is that me?
I don't have shirts yet. I haven't got my flag ordered, so I don't have anything.
I haven't done my spring order yet. That's coming up. There's all sorts of things we do in the off season. Cart maintenance is going down. Getting ready to add a bigger motor to my cart. What's that?
Jacob asked a question, and I'm just answering his question.
Oh, gotcha. Cart maintenance in the off season. Shirt orders coming for the upcoming season, so we're ready to go this spring. But I will definitely let you know, Vernon, when we get them in and get you hooked up with one.
You doing sweatshirts again next year?
Sweatshirts, no. Well, it depends on if I can get a good deal with them made, because their sweatshirts are a little more expensive and they don't really go as well or sell as quick. I did 3 this year just for a special promotion giveaway, and one of those was for a giveaway. The other was for Jack and I to wear on the beach. So
it's funny how that works with a business, isn't it? That's all the ancillary things that you get your hands on and the price points. Like, holy crap, how much did I spend?
Yeah. Cart mods in the off season. That's right. Hey Tom, we need to get together because I'm gonna put that 48-volt motor on, and we'll have to get that engineered. Yeah, the money pit. That's what it is, man. It's never ending.
Oh, that's glorious right there.
Well, next week we're gonna have Captain Justin Thomas on from Flat Spot Charters. Captain Brandon Hilliard from Got the Hookup Charters. He runs out here in Fort Walton Beach, Destin area. And then, as we said, Blake Hunter from the Real 30A giving us our surf report. So next week we'll be back up full, all 3 captains, guides out running. You don't have to listen to Brian and I drone on for an hour about fishing. It's been awesome, guys. Everybody, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of the night. Hopefully you stay up to midnight. If not, there's always tomorrow. Day changes regardless. So until next week, cheers.
See y'all. Enjoy. Happy New Year.